Hi, this is Sowmyan again. Welcome to my Japanese lesson number 38. In this lesson, you will get introduced to the informal negative form or the naide form and the te form of this informal negative, the naide form. The naide form is the negative plain form. The polite form was seen as the masan form. In practice, the naide form is used for many derivatives and hence is of greater interest than the polite form. The te form of naide form is the naide form. So just as we have the te form kudasai as a request for doing some action, the naide kudasai is used for requesting not to do something. Since we are talking of a new verb form, we need to consider the conjugation rules first. First, let me deal with the group 2 verbs. Taberu is a group 2 verb meaning to eat. Tabete kudasai will be please eat. Tabenai kudasai will be please do not eat. How did the conjugation go? Taberu is the plain form. This becomes tabemasu. In group 2, the ending is always ru. If we remove that and add nai, we get the nai form. We did something similar for getting the masu form itself. We removed the ru and substituted it with masu to get the masu form. Taberu, tabe, tabemasu, tabenai. Tabenai means tabemasen. Since naide is the te form of nai, tabenaide is the te form of tabenai. Thus, the negative of tabete kudasai is tabenaida kudasai. Let us look at the conjugation of group 1 verbs. Nomu is a group 1 verb meaning to drink. Nonde kudasai will mean please drink. The negative of this is nomanaida kudasai, meaning please do not drink. How did this conjugation happen? Nomu is the plain form which ends with mu. To form the masu form, we cut off the u and added imas. To form the negative plain form, we will do something very similar. We will remove the u and add anai. So nomu becomes nomanai. Hence the te form is nomanaide. For group 2, masu was substituted by nai. For group 1, imasu was substituted by anai. Except for one exception which we shall see in the next slide. There were many subgroups of group 1 verbs for forming the te form. But for forming the masu form, we did not have that many variations. It was always u being substituted with imas. However, when it comes to the nai form, one of the subgroups brings up a variation. When the last 2 letters of a plain form verb in Romaji are both vowels, we substitute the u with vanai. In other cases of group 1 verbs, we just have anai. Avu means to meet. Aimas is the masu form. Avanai is the negative plain form. Atte is the te form of avu. Avanaide is the te form of avanai. So, while atte kudasai will mean please meet, avanaida kudasai would mean please do not meet. Moving on to the group 3 verbs, we know that there is no conjugation pattern to be followed here. There were just 2 irregular verbs in suru and kuru. We just had to remember all the various forms. So, suru becomes shimas in masu form and shinai in the plain negative form. Shinaida kudasai will mean please do not do. Kuru that became kimas in the masu form now becomes konai in the plain negative form. Konaide will be the te form. So, konaide kudasai means please do not come. Let us now discuss a few real-life examples. The statement here can be seen in many public places. Abunai deskara, koko de, tobacco wo, suwanaida kudasai. Suwu means to smoke. Suimas is a masu form. Sutte will be the te form. Since the last two letters of the plain form, suvu, are both vowels, the nai form will need one I to be substituted for the last vowel. Thus, suvu becomes suvanai. The te form of this is suvanaide. So, suvanaide kudasai will mean please do not smoke. Thus, the entire sentence means since it is dangerous, please do not smoke tobacco here. Abunai used here is not a nai form word. It means danger. Kara means since. When you find a place where inflammable items such as gas, petrol, diesel, kerosene, or even items such as paper, cotton, etc. are stored, you can see notices indicating smoking is prohibited on account of the fire hazard. Abunai is used here to refer to such a hazard. However, nowadays, in many countries, smoking in public is prohibited due to the perceived health hazard from passive smoking. Suvanaida kudasai is still a request and not a prohibition. There is a stronger word used for prohibition. You will see that later. Let me discuss a few more examples. It so happens that the examples I picked up have words with a vague similarity to each other. The addition or change of one syllable makes the meaning different. The choice was not deliberate. The examples pertain to notices you may find in public places. Consider the first example. Koko de suvaranaida kudasai. Suvaru is a group 1 verb meaning to sit. Suvarimas is the masu form. Suvatte will be the te form. Being a group 1 verb, the nai form is suvaranai. We just substituted the last character u in the plain form with anai. Suvaranai de is the te form of suvaranai. Koko de means in this place or here. Please do not sit here is the meaning. Often one may find people using staircases to sit, thereby obstructing the path of many who use the staircase. There may also be situations where people sit on a parapet wall which forms a hazard. In such situations, we can find this kind of notice to be applicable. Please do not sit here is the meaning of this sentence. Suvanaida kudasai meant please do not smoke. Suvaranaida kudasai means please do not sit. Consider the next example. Abunai deskara, savaranaida kudasai. Once again, we have abunai deskara. This means since it is dangerous. What is the verb here? Savaranaide. Savaranaide comes from savaru, a group 1 verb meaning to touch. Savarimas is the masu form. Savate is the te form. The te form of savaranai is savaranaide. Savaranaide kudasai means please do not touch. The meaning of this sentence is since it is dangerous, please do not touch. You may find such notices near electrical installations, hot objects, or controls of machines to be operated only by specialists. If you touch these places, you may possibly get an electrical shock, or get your hands burnt, or accidentally trigger the equipment into operation. Such a notice may also be used in an electronics assembly line where you wish to avoid electrostatic discharge from affecting the electronics assembly or components. Let me give you some more examples of such general requests in the interest of broad-basing your exposure to them. Consider the following. Sashin wo toranaida kudasai. Toru is a group 1 verb. It means to take. Torimasu is the masu form and totte will be the te form. Since toru is a group 1 verb, the nai form will be toranai. Anai replacing the last vowel u. Toranaide is the te form of toranai. Toranaide kudasai will mean please do not take. The request is not so clear and obvious from the verb itself. What are we being requested not to take? The object is marked by O and it is sashin. Sashin means photograph. Please don't take photographs is the meaning of this request. It's common to find sensitive installations and locations prohibiting you from taking photographs. Maybe it is an airport, power plant, or the inside of a manufacturing factory. Photography is prohibited in these kind of places. That is where this notice can be found. Let us look at another example. Koko de savaganaida kudasai. Koko de means in this place or here. The verb is savagu. It's a group 1 verb meaning to make noise. Savagimasu is the masu form and savaide is the te form. Since savagu is a group 1 verb, savaganai will be the nai form. Savaganaide will be the te form of savaganai. Please do not make noise here or at this place is the meaning of this request. There may be a school where classrooms require a distraction-free atmosphere, or a hospital where patients need quietness to let them sleep or rest. In such places, there may be a notice urging other people not to make noise. Though we have covered te form verb moi desu ka as a form of seeking permission in the previous lesson, I am giving further examples building on the words we learned in this lesson. Otherwise, this slide has nothing to do with the nai form, which is the main topic of this lesson. Sashin wo tottemo ii desu ka? We saw just a slide ago that toru means take and sashin means photograph. Totte is the te form of toru. Toru is a group 1 verb. If you wish to seek permission for taking a photograph, you can say Shashin wo tottemo ii desu ka? Taking photograph, is it good? Would appear to be a crude translation. May I take a photograph will be the meaning of this request. Koko de suttemo ii desu ka? We saw 3 slides back that su is a group 1 verb meaning to smoke. Sutte is the te form of suvu. To seek permission to smoke, you may say Koko de suttemo ii desu ka? Tobacco is not explicitly mentioned, but it is understood from the context. So smoking here, is it good? May appear to be a crude translation. May I smoke here is the meaning of this request. Let me pull together some of the learnings from the last few lessons. Please do would be a request. The sentence could end in shite kudasai. Please do not would also be a request. The sentence could end in shinaida kudasai. Shall we do will be a suggestion. The sentence could end in shimashou ka. Shall we do is really a suggestion and not a way of seeking permission. Since it is a joint action proposal, the other person's acceptance is implicitly requested. Can I do would really be the way of seeking permission. Te form mo ii desu ka is similar to this way of asking permission. Let us wrap up what we learnt in this lesson. The nai form is the plain negative form. Nai, anai, and vanai are the endings of the nai form verbs as per the conjugation rules. Naide is the te form of nai. This is popularly used for forming negative requests. We saw some examples of such popular negative requests. We also clarified between request and seeking permission. The te form mo ii desu ka is the popular way of seeking permission. That brings us to the end of lesson number 38. To watch the entire series, go to my channel Avid Reader 100 on YouTube. To get alerts on new posts, subscribe to my channel. Deva, Mata, Gabbatta Kodasai.